Okay, mic check two. All right, welcome back. So now that we have learned how to identify the key of a song, now we can move to the next step, which is identifying the tonic sulfur or getting the notes of any song with your ear, right? So this process is the literal example, the literal definition or perfect example of practice makes perfect because it will take some time to develop the skill such that you can accurately get the sulfur every single time in the shortest possible time, right? So it will take some practice, but then if you practice it in a structured and smart way, you're going to be getting tonic sulfur like right immediately. And why is this important? Oh, because when you start trying to get the harmony, like your soprano, alto, tenor parts, knowing the sulfur will give you a very great advantage, right? So let's move straight into it. Now, I'm going to give us a very simple process that we're going to be practicing in order to start developing our skill. But before I show that process, I'm going to explain how it works, right? So, so if I hum this to you, mm, you can easily hum it back to me. Try it. Mm. Now, your brain has already identified the notes, right? But then it has not associated it with any, sulfur yet, right? Okay, now imagine instead of doing, I decide to use words, and I sing come and stay. I'll try that. So you've associated words with that pitch, so you can give it back to me. Come and stay. Now, if I now replace that with tonic sulfur, so say do re mi. Say do re mi. Now what happens is that you've now associated, letters in quotes to those sounds, and not just the sounds, but to a group of sounds. So the next time you hear that group of sounds together, your brain and your ear working together can recognize that that is do re mi. So now let me give you an example. Let's try. So imagine I'm going to put this pair of notes at the end of a melody line. So let me form something on the spot. Okay. You need to leave your house and come and stay. Uh, so even without thinking, I can already hear that the last part of that, the sulfur for the last part of what I just sang is do re mi, because my brain can remember the association I made with that group of notes and the sulfur. So you need to leave. Oh, let me remove the lyrics. So la 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 la. So you can see that because you associated the sulfur with that pattern, it becomes easily recognizable. And every melody is made up of patterns. For example, Mary had a little lamb. So imagine I practice a pattern like mi re do re mi re do, mi re do re mi re do. By the time I hear Mary had a little, I can already hear that pattern. So that is the step we're going to be adopting. And then we're going to give it some sort of structure. And then after I give you some structures, I want you to be creative on your own. And then grab your favorite songs and begin to find the sulfur. So the first thing you need to be comfortable with is the major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? You need to be comfortable with that. So start. That's the first pattern you need to practice. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Ascending and then descending. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. So you can pause the video, try that on your own a couple of times, and then come back. All right. Now, the next step is going to be based on something we learned earlier in our previous video, talking about how the key or the do sounds like the home or the resting place of every key. So this pattern is going to be like matching every note of the major scale to the root note. All right. So now it's very simple. So take the root note, do. So do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, so, do, la, do, ti, do. And you'll be wondering, this is just an exercise. Like, how is this going to help? So, so you want to pronounce each. You want to be conscious as you pronounce each. You don't just want to run through the exercise mindlessly. No, you actually want to allow yourself hear it. That okay, this is what do fa. This is what it sounds like. Do you understand? You want to be able to hear it. So when next you hear in the melody, you'll be able to identify. So now let me give you an example. So you know the birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Now the next line of it is happy birth, happy birth. Now that sounds to me like do do so. So if we try to retract and practice, so do re do mi do fa do so. Happy birthday do do so. So I can have associated that interval with um do so. So now let's try to practice again. So start from low octave. So do 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 re. So this is an exercise you should actually be practicing along with. So let's go. 2, 3, go. Do 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 re do mi do fa do so do la do ti do. Two, go on Yakima. Do 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 re do mi do fa do so do la do ti do do. Right. Then once you're comfortable with this, you want to start picking notes in this scale and making them the reference. So now I'm going to switch from do to so. And now we go so do so re so mi so fa so la so ti so do. Let's try another note. Let's go to mi do mi re mi fa mi so mi la mi ti mi do. Good. Let's try the last one out. La 2, 3, go. La do la re la mi la fa la so la ti la do. All right. So the next pattern we're going to be using is the triplets pattern. Triplets. So we're going to be taking the major notes and the major scale in chunks of threes. So an example of that is so go do re mi fa so la ti do re mi. Completed the octave. So now let's start again on the octave. 1, 2, 3, 2, go. Do re mi fa so la ti do re mi. Good. So now the last step, the last pattern we're going to be using is the pattern where you skip an intermediate note. Do so do mi re fa mi so fa la so ti la do ti re do mi. Good. And you want to practice this downwards too. So do la ti so la fa so mi fa re mi do